Daniel 7 is where the image of the beast is actually revealed. Because in Daniel 2, the king has a dream. And this was a statue. And it had 4 empires: Babylon, Medo, Persia, Greece, and Rome. Gold, silver, bronze, and iron. Iron is very important because right through the prophetic books and in Revelation, we read that God was going to rule his people with a rod of iron. In the story of Esther, we see that Haman actually hanged on the gallows that he made for Mordecai. Now, this is not just the story in the Bible. It's literally a prediction of what's going to happen to Israel, because they're allied with Rome to take out their Messiah, and then eventually Rome took out the whole of Judaism and Israel. The Bible is all connected, and it's the volume of the book bringing us together, and we must read everything knowing that there is purpose behind everything. When you take this all back to Daniel 7, Daniel has a vision, and he's standing, and out of the sea comes 4 animals. Now, animals meaning that this is earthy. But whoa, when they were in Babylon, Ezekiel saw 4 animals in heaven being prepared to come down. They were on wheels within wheels. It's cycles, time cycles, generations, seasons. And God was working his plan from the beginning. There was a battle for seed. The purpose for seed is a body. So what we have in Daniel 2 is the body of Satan revealed. He cannot function on this earth. He hasn't got a body. Neither does God function on the earth. He wants his spirit within a body. The purpose for a seed is the body. So when Christ came, this body was sacrificed so that the spirit can be now in a body. And a body is not a divided thing. If you cut off your finger, it's no more part of the body. A body is connected. That's why we need to stay connected and discern who is the body, because an organization is not a body. A building is not a body. A body is a body, and Christ is the head. So this body was actually revealed as a statue. And this is a timeline. You need to lay it down. Babylon, Medo, Persia, Greece, and Rome. And there is no gap between it. It's one solid body. There is no gap of 2,000 church years where the church is. And this is the rapture doctrine, where they say we are now in the 2,000 years of church age. The legs are not separated from the foot. There is no gap. But we must also remember that the law from Moses was a schoolmaster to Christ, with an outer court, an inner court, and a holy of holies. So this was a shadow of the good things to come. The head was in front. Here at Babylon, if you lie it down, you'll see the head is at the back. So here we have the 2 bodies, and they were going to meet at the biggest battle ever, at Armageddon. So in Daniel 7, here Daniel saw 4 natural beasts coming out of the sea. Ezekiel saw 4 beasts from heaven, and they were working on earth. Noah, the man; Abraham, the ox; David, the eagle; and Christ, the lion that became a lamb. But now the beast coming out of the sea here was first a lion. The emblem of Babylon was a lion, and he had wings like an eagle. He was royal. Then came the bear, and he had 3 ribs in his mouth, which was 3 great kings. And right after them came Greece, a leopard, and he had 4 wings. After Alexander the Great died, of course, he had 4 generals that governed his kingdom and splitted his kingdom. But right after this comes another kingdom. And I need to read this for you, because this is where we're going to stay the rest of this session. It says, after this, in the night visions, I behold a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured, and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. This is very important. Daniel started asking and say, what is this beast? I want to know about this fourth beast. And he says, the fourth beast is a kingdom with 10 horns, which has 10 kings. And if we look at Rome and their first dynasty, it was the Julio-Augustan dynasty. It had 10 kings. The first one was Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar. This is when Jesus was born. Then it was Tiberius Caesar. This is when Jesus was crucified. Then it had Caligula, a total madman. This is the inbreeding, and it's a type of the world of what we do if we are not inspired or enlightened from God. Then there was Claudius. He came against marriages. There was a priest, his name was Valentine, and he married people secretly, and then he was beheaded for it. But while he was in prison, he fell in love with a prisoner's daughter. And his last letter to her was, from your Valentine. And this is where we get Valentine's Day, because the whole picture of humanity is about the bride. So Rome came against everything that God was, trying to destroy the bride. But Jesus came for the bride. When God made Adam and Eve, he said, you will leave your father and your mother and you'll cling to your wife. So on the cross, he said, Father, why have you forsaken me? But he said to his mother, woman, there's your son. He didn't call her mother. And he said, son, there's your mother. And he left his mother because we are his bride. So what Rome did, they were anti-Christ. The iniquity is already on the work. It has always been. It has been since the garden. So now we're looking for the Antichrist. Antichrist is everything that is against Christ. So what we have here in the Julian Augustus dynasty is Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, Tiberius Caesar, Caligula, Claudius. Then number 6, Nero. His name even spells 666. So he's the final 666. No, man, these are patterns, but in history, he is the sixth one. He committed suicide, and then Rome was in trouble because he messed up the whole Rome. From Tiberius, it was a literal decline down. Then one of his governors, Galba, took over. And his lover, Otto, Nero's lover, didn't approve of Galba, and he killed Galba. And then Vitellius came from Germanica, and he killed Otto. All the time, Vespasian was taking in Judea, and then he came in after Josephus prophesied that he will be Caesar. The whole of Rome was in trouble, and he went to Egypt, cut the granaries off, stopped the food supply, and he went back, and it was just a quick takeover. So the 10th guy is very important here. Now this verse 8 says, I considered the horn, and behold, there came up one among them, a little horn, before whom 3 of the first horns were plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn there were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now, this you want to remember, because this is the characteristics that is described to the man of perdition all the time. The man of perdition is the one that really brought everything to a standstill, and we have to really remember this. He had eyes and a mouth speaking great things. Now, from this point onward, there's a chiasm. What happens in heaven happens on earth. Happens in heaven happens on earth. And I'm going to come back to that because I want to finish the beast in this section. So let's go back. Daniel 2. Now we've been in Daniel 7. It was first a body, a statue. Now we see, oh, it's 4 animals. Now, if we jump over to Revelation, this is at the end of Judaism, just before the burning down of 70 AD. Babylon was the beginning, here is the end. Now John stood upon the sand of the sea, and he saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns. Cooey! We know the 10 horns. Julius Caesar, Augustus Caesar, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Galba, Otto, Vitellius, and then 10th we have Vespasian that came in and rescued Rome.